Hey everyone, my name's Imran from Modus Academy.
Hi, my name is Nana from Miracle Properties.
And he's with me, and I'm Emily. And this week we're gonna talk about if it gets harder to get a mortgage if you have your bank account with a currency bank like Revolut, for example.
So I'll give you my thoughts and opinions, guys, on this. And again, do talk to advisors, do talk to mortgage brokers before you maybe apply for a company bank account with the likes of these online banks. But just to give you our sort of thoughts on that at the moment, and these are our opinions. So like the likes of like Revolut or a TransferWise style account, the challenge with those banks and the banking industry, I think, guys, don't you agree? It's all changing anyway. I think traditionally we were used to the HSBC, the NatWest, the Lloyds of the world. We're used to those big banks, Barclays, all these big banks. But banking is changing dramatically. The likes of Starling and Tide are popping up. They're winning awards for the way they're doing banking. And it's making the big boys now start to shake and go, okay, we need to change the way that we do business. So if you're applying for a bank account with the likes of a Revolut, for example, you have to be really clear about whether that bank account is a fully fledged UK bank account, i.e., do you have a sort code and account number? That's really important. Does the bank, and these are questions you need to consider asking these banks, do they offer direct debit facilities and standing order facilities? So that's really important because if you're taking out a mortgage, the mortgage provider needs to be able to set up a direct debit, and they will set up the direct debit with your UK bank account. Okay, so they need your sort code account number, the UK address for that bank, okay, where they are from that point of view. And that bank account needs to be in the name of your UK limited company or you personally if you're buying the property in your own name. If the bank account is in the name of, say, your company, care of Revolut, it's very, very hard, I think, to get a mortgage. Because I think the mortgage provider will not like that. Because remember, a mortgage provider does their due diligence. They need to feel comfortable. Yeah. And I'll give you a prime example of this. So let's say, for example, you have one thing that's happened in the UK is the system, the IT systems behind banking has got a lot better recently. So they do a further check to match bank account records. So let's say, for example, I had an investor and I wanted to pay them interest into their TransferWise Revolut account. I would then put in my business bank account their sort code and account number and their name. And my bank in the UK, say NatWest, for example, will do a verification check to make sure that bank account record is correct. It might come up and say, actually, I can't verify these details. And if I can't verify those details, I can still make the payment, but I am taking then the risk on that from that point of view. So if you think about a mortgage company will be going online, yep, I can verify sort code and account number, but if it comes up with the same issue, it's going to make them a bit scared about issuing that mortgage to you. So I think it's really important that actually making sure that those features are in place, sort code and account number, it is a UK bank account. They can do clear direct debit payments. I think likes of Revolut are changing. I think they are changing the way that they do business. But I would say historically, I would have said you can't do it. But I think they are moving towards the fact you can. But I would check out those things. Sort code, account number. Do they have a UK address from a banking point of view? Is it your company that's listed as a bank account holder? Or is it your company care of Revolut? Because it has to match on the mortgage systems from that side. So those are some of my thoughts. And if you are applying, like I think with the challenges of COVID, I guess coming to the UK and meeting the likes of Barclays and HSBC and these banks is a lot harder, right? So you might have to go to likes of Tide or the likes of Starling maybe and work with them, because I do know with them that there are facilities there and they are UK bank accounts and they can operate for you. How have you guys found? Have you had lots of people asking you this question then?
Yeah, but also I think people should think about like COVID is changing everything, how people are doing business, and also how the traditional banks needs to do their business if they want to have new clients. So for example, if it is a lockdown and people can't go, even in the UK, people can't come. Yeah. Then they need to go to the digital world and verify your face through like a Zoom meeting or whatever. So I think you should ask the standard banks also if they can just give you a bank account by verifying you over line.
HSBC have started to take online application for international. So they are changing. They need to change with time. So I will stick with the traditional banks. You can use Revolut and all of these TransferWise, etc., for transfer the money to your traditional bank. But like you say, the lenders are very, very picky with stuff. So why not just keep it traditional? That's my
Absolutely. Yeah, and I really love that, guys. And I totally agree with you. Like, why put the best thing with banks? Okay, if you're borrowing money for a mortgage, don't put barriers in front of the banks. Sorry, barriers in front of them. So if you're applying for a mortgage and you're putting a barrier saying, okay, I don't have quite a fully fledged bank account, then that's going to just create a concern in their mind. They might just say, hey, I'm not going to lend to you today, right?
Yeah.
So it's all about getting your business in order. And I think you're right. If the traditional banks, and I agree, I think the big boys, they need to step up. So I think HSBC, it's great they're starting to accept it again. Barclays, NatWest, all the others, if you're listening to this video, step up. Let's start to encourage more online trading, catch up with the likes of Starling and Tide, because that is the way things are going, and that is the way of the future, because people want to do business, and there are more limited companies being opened in the UK than ever before. So all of these limited companies need a bank account facility, and why not be part of the process, so because they can still verify you, they can do everything. I think it's just a very traditional system that is heavily regulated, and that's not a bad thing that we're heavily regulated, but I think it's about having some flexibility along the way to get things moving, so
and just adjust with time. I think, because nobody has gone through COVID before.
No.
This is the first time, even for them, for the banks. So I mean, they are adjusting also, and I just think that we need to be open-minded that the traditional banks might be able to help us too.
Absolutely. They might be able to help. It might take a bit longer to get that bank account open with them because of the process that you go through, and it will be a bit more painful potentially at the moment, but hey, if that's what it takes, but it means it's going to help you longer term, because then you'll have the right bank account that you can then apply for the right mortgages, and you're working and growing your property portfolio. That's the best way to go from my point of view. But look, if I would say to you, if you can go traditional, focus down that route, or go to likes of Starling and Tide with Revolut and banks like TransferWise, just explore and ensure that you're on the right path, or talk to a mortgage broker and check with them first before you even apply for a bank account.
Yes.
Yeah. And if Revolut or TransferWise has anything to say, they can just contact us and let us know, and we will update them.
Yes.
Maybe we should, so Revolut and TransferWise, if you are listening to this video or watching this video, maybe we should get them to come do a video with us and tell us about how it works and the process, and we'd love to do a video with you guys.
Yes.
Awesome. It's a really interesting question, and I do think it's the problem is, like, everyone, when you set up a company, everyone sort of jumps on, I must get a bank account live, I must do it live. So you go for the quickest, most painless route, but that doesn't always mean it's the best.